I'll tag you in a video to watch.
Yeah.
All right. So today is a topic that has affected not only Justine, but myself personally. And it's an ongoing effect as well. And we're just going to be raw and honest about it because I think we need to, talk about it more because it'll also help alleviate people comparing people to each other and, help you out a bit. Does that make sense the way I said that?
Mm, definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So today we're going to be talking about basically
Get my
your,
card.
yeah, of course you can. I got that here. So today we're going to be talking about basically getting your business mojo back because, Christmas, New Year, we have a lot of time off. We can, not have many clients and getting back into the swing of it can be difficult. So, but first a question. Okay. Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
Is it normal or not to go to the toilet in front of your partner or children?
I don't think it's normal to purposely do it, but it's incredibly normal when you're in the toilet for people to walk in if you don't lock the door.
Yes. John just walks in and has a conversation with me, and I'm like,
No. I don't think I think children is a bit different because well, I'd say the age of the child, because there is no way like Melody at 14, 15 will come into the toilet.
but does she like stand at the door and talk to you or something?
No, no, she's and vice versa.
That's really
But then in
cool.
saying that, if my older daughter was on the toilet and the toilet used to be in her bedroom and the door was open, I'd just walk in and go blah blah. I wouldn't look, but I go blah blah. And she's like, "Mum," and she's shutting the door, really pissed off with me for going in. But that would be into her bedroom, and the toilet door would be open, and it'd be like, yeah, yeah, probably was a bit naughty there, but you should be saying yes if she was listening now. Like, give her space. But I think in the past with partners, I don't think going to the toilet hasn't been a. It's just like, and sometimes you go to the toilet, you don't shut the door just because you're just rushing, and who cares? And yeah, so I think it's pretty normal.
We've got cats as well, so they always want to join you. Apparently, that's a way they protect you whilst you're going to the toilet. So, the options that I have is go to toilet with door shut and wow, wow, wow at the door whilst I'm relaxing, or leave door open. Cat comes in, sits in pants or sniffs butt, but at least it's quiet.
And definitely
It's
young kids.
weird.
It's like young kids have to go to toilet with you, like they come in and they just want.
Mm.
That's
Well, we've got
pretty.
two toilets in our house, and one's a bit dodgy, so we just never use it. But when we both need to go to the toilet, we will both literally race to the toilet, going, "Nah, I'm having the good toilet." Oh, I don't know if that's you freezing or me freezing. You look weird. Oh, there you go.
I was just going. I think my internet's there's my and once again it says my internet's unstable. I think it's both the internet and myself. No, I'm kidding.
Why choose one like tacos? So yeah, let us know if it's normal or not for you to go to the toilet with your well in front of your partner, not with your partner. I don't want to know that, that's for sure. Oh, I think Justine's having net issues today. There she's at least you froze then with a decent face, like you weren't
I'm
all
going to
like
have to keep
stupid.
myself like not doing something weird.
So you don't look stupid.
I wonder though, on Facebook, I think because I'm running the Facebook Live, it'll be cutting us out, eh?
Well, it does take more bandwidth, that's for sure. So if you've got
What I mean,
anything,
I was going to say what I mean is we're not being seen on Facebook right now.
I think so. I mean, it did say
Okay.
that we were going out to a third party, but that's okay. We can just keep on filming and, you know, go from there. We can always stream again, like no biggie.
I think mine's it's looks like it's spinning on Facebook, but that just because could be my
Oh
internet.
no, that's only third party stuff. So yeah, don't stress
Okay,
about
yeah.
that.
Anyway,
So yeah,
yes.
so let's talk about the business blowout. How about we call that? Because well, it's Mojo blowout because you can have all these exciting events that come up, or you really cool, you've got these great clients or something like that, but then the Christmas New Year hits and it's kind of like getting motivated to go back to the gym.
Yeah,
So
yeah, 100%.
how does it feel for you and what do you do about it?
So right now, honestly, I'm really struggling. You'll probably notice, and I know Tristan will notice because it'll be less business texts, less HNZ type messages, and more like, hey, messaging about random everyday things.
Yes, I'm getting lots of TikToks. I admit I watch them all.
Yeah, more like sending out TikToks and stuff instead of, hey, I did this today for work. There's not much of that going on. And I was thinking, even my brother, it's like he's sending me through work voice messages every day, and I just go to listen. And if it's like personal related, I listen. If it's work related, my brain is just saying no. I won't even go in. But
People messaging me about the New Zealand conference saying, is the itinerary up and going yet? What are we doing? How do we know when people are on? You know, and I'm like, look, I said, Justine will get to it. Chill out. She's busy, you know. It's
yeah,
like, and they're like,
we'll
well, what do you know,
we'll
Trish? And I'm like,
yeah,
I know the same as you. Like, if I
that
know
will
any
get
more, I'll
that will
tell
get
you.
yeah. I think an email would have got sent out last week to everyone that's attending, which was just a breakdown of stuff. And it would have had a little
Oh,
swirl on the top. Did you not get that?
I didn't get that one. Add me
Okay,
to
I
your
need
list.
to put your email on it. So people that have signed up would have got that last week. And yeah, the itinerary, I need to fully sort that one out. But yeah, and I think what we were talking about earlier, it depends your situation you're in to how quickly you get motivated. So with me, it's um there's no like secondary income coming in for the
That's as
fact
well. If you don't have a
for the
partner or something.
I don't have a partner that brings in an income or anything. So the pressure to pay the bills is on me for myself and Melody and that. Um, so even though I'd love to just not do anything, the ticking
Wouldn't
along
we all?
I know, and you have to bring the clients in, you have to advertise and stuff. So that bit there is chipping away, and it didn't stop over Christmas. But the motivation to get your head in the game is happening very, very.
Sometimes it can kind of be like going to the gym where, you know, going to the actual gym can be a bit of a grind, but once you're there, you're fine.
Yeah,
You've
yeah,
got
yeah.
your head in the game as such, but then as soon as you leave the gym, you're like, oh, back to it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It never used to be like that for me. So when I first started out in this business, because the motivation and the passion to grow a business is so high, I don't think I've ever actually had planned time off ever for Christmas. And even if I did go away, like I'm away at the moment, work was part of going away because it was an online business.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so it's only happened through the years now where my brain kind of switches off a little bit more and in the holiday period. Before it would have just been go, go, go clients, even
Yeah.
new week and stuff. So yeah, it is tricky when you're, and like I said, it's the I find the pressure of having to pay bills and stuff the biggest motivator in business.
Oh, yeah.
It's for students and stuff having a hypnotherapy business, if they
Mm-hmm.
already have a successful business going, or if they're in a situation where they're not working because they have to, it's more, I want to get out and help people, but financially I'm secure. That motivation is so much more difficult for people
Oh, yeah. Yeah. A lot of people also have motivation backwards. So they do the I'll do it when I get motivated. And it's like it doesn't happen. You don't get motivation, then you do action. You do action, then you get motivated.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
but what's the step before then? The step before then is inspiration.
yeah.
So, on for me personally, I have a saying on the bottom of my screen here that says, stick to the plan, not the mood. Because trust me, the mood is, oh, I'd rather just go fluff around and play video games, you
Sleep,
know?
sleep and watch TikTok.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll just keep flicking TikToks to each other. But that's not the plan. That's the mood.
Yeah,
And I'm also very structured, as you know. Hello, cutie puppy.
he's in a cuddly mood. He just wants to cuddle.
I'm also a very structured person as well. So for me personally, if it's not written down, it's not getting done.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. Well, let me show you. Okay, so for me personally, there's three things. Number one is an online booking system for appointments and Zooms, etc. That's a no-brainer. Okay. The second thing to my structure of success, or whatever you want to call it, is a program called Asana,
Mm.
and it's completely free to use, and you can put everything in there. So for example, I'll be like, Wednesday's social media in this group, these posts, Thursday's social media, that media, blah
Yeah.
blah. Once a fortnight, Justine, go live, etc etc. So it's all there in the Asana, and it gives me prompts on not only on my iPad but also on my phone as well, to remind me these are the responsibilities of the day. This is the plan for the day. And then anything that's small that needs to be done just on particular days or at some stage, it's just in written format,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then everything gets crossed off. So one, online booking system, so clients always come first. In between those appointments, I'm looking at Asana and my diary. So my diary is literally this is the priority stuff because this had to be emailed out by that day. Asana is like the Monday task, the Tuesday task, the Wednesday task, the Thursday task. So that way, in between times, I can go, right, I've got 45 minutes in between this appointment and this appointment. I'm going to aim to get this, this, and this done, and just get it done,
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah,
know.
yeah.
And I honestly think without that particular system, I think it would all just go to shit. Like, because if you don't have a plan, then you can't plan.
And it's funny, because like and I think it's different brains too. There's brains that are really good at organizing. I've got a sister-in-law who is insanely incredible. I was actually talking to Nora, who I'm with today, who on her days off, she'll prepare these amazing meals, bag them up, put them in freezer
Oh,
lines. So they're actually in lines of what they are, and they're there
yeah.
just in case they get home late, or just in case for some reason she can't be there. And we're talking properly prepared, healthy, amazing meals in the freezer in sets
Good
of,
on them.
I know, and she does it every week on her day off, and it's all planned. And it's yeah, I was sitting there thinking, oh my God, it just blows my mind how people can be so
I
organized.
have I have it like as in the weekly plan. So what I do is I've got a 4-week plan of food, and then I write down, this week is spaghetti, that week is tacos, so on and so forth. And then inside of my grocery online, I'll have week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. So I know all the ingredients that I need to get, and then I just add them to the list. So, but I did that years ago, and we've been eating, like, say, spaghetti once a month for like 10 years, So I organized like this like 30 odd meal plan, just for dinner, and then worked out all the ingredients and how they cross over. So for example, if John's having tacos, because there's salad with that, then he'll also have other stuff, he'll have enchiladas or
My
something like
brain
that.
is
So
tired listening. So you're very lucky with me if you get fed. You're very lucky with me if you eat,
well,
and you're very,
that's part of being resourceful adult.
so you're very lucky if we remember to eat. And the idea of breakfast, lunch, and dinner does not happen.
But
It
the
does
thing is,
where I'm staying now. It totally does. But if you were living just with me and my good old self, it'll be like eat when you're hungry. If not, and don't ask me to cook because it will be burnt because I
see,
won't stick.
I have this thing called a John, and John doesn't let you forget to eat.
Okay, he
So
does. Or he,
I'm happy not to eat on times, but John, I guarantee you, 4:30, 5 o'clock every single day. Hey babe, what's for dinner?
yep.
And it was just one of those things. It's like, you know what? Just look at the calendar that's hanging in the laundry. Um,
That's what's for dinner. I always
you'll
people would
know
say,
what week we're on based on what we ate last night.
yeah, 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 yeah. I used
So
to consider I was wife material once, and I was like, you have not actually spent more than a day with me, because it's the absolute opposite.
I think when it was just me, absolutely, eat what I want, when I want, do what I want. Like, I don't know how many times my girlfriend Christy would ring me up and she'd be like, "Do you want to go out for dinner?" And I'd be like cooking. I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And I would just put it aside and, go out. Like, when it's just me, no worries.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
John seems to need a bit more structure,
Yeah, yeah.
and he also keeps me, yeah, he keeps me in check when it comes to, well, it's not that I'm a messy person because I'm not, but because he needs like shirts for his uniform and stuff like that. So I program my washing machine to go off. I program the dishwasher to go off. I've got these time frame structures where I'm like, right, it's 4 o'clock. Do you want to be home at 5? So he'll want dinner when he gets home. Doesn't mean that I'm eating though, because a lot of times I think, oh, I'm not hungry, I'll
Once
eat
again,
later.
it all sounds quite hard managing people's shirts that have to be ready for me.
Well, I must admit, I did lose my shit at one stage because he works full time and he only had 3 shirts, so 8-hour shifts on a man, for 5 days a week, and he had 3 shirts. And I was like, if you don't go and buy another 2 shirts, I'm going on strike. Simple as that. And that's what I always threaten with. I'm like, if you won't take the responsibility to do this, I'm going on strike.
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
know. So there was like at one stage he's got lunch boxes for like his lunch and stuff, and I'm like, if you cannot bring it home clean and washed, I'm going on strike. Like you've got to help me out here somewhere. And Thursdays I'm working online. He doesn't work on Thursdays, and I'm like, guess what Thursday is? Thursday every free man for himself. So you've got to feed yourself, you've got to clean yourself, you've got to get your own shit. And if I come out and there's dishes to be done and I'm seeing clients all day, I'm going on strike. Like, help me out here. Come on, help me out. Do what we need to do.
I've gone
So
into real, I'd say, minimalistic living, not with I've got vehicles and
very
caravans
stoic.
and all of that kind of stuff. So I've got probably too many things with wheels, and maybe
She coming back? Oh, she might drop out this time. She's stalling.
and I'm back.
Yay! So you've
Did
got
I
too
freeze
many
on,
things with wheels.
did I freeze on a funny face this time or not? Oh,
Yeah.
stupid computer. Yeah, no, but I've downsized a lot of the house clothes. I got rid of so many clothes after the moves that I do, and really down to the fine art of having not many things either, because then there's not many things to clean, and you know what I mean?
Have you
Yeah.
read Darren Brown's book Happiness?
Yes, I did.
Fantastic. He talks about stoic living and he talks about how he was building a new house at the time and he's got this gigantic house and he knows that eventually he will probably shrink it down to smaller areas and just not use the rest of that house. So that led to the mental thinking of, do I really need the bigger house?
Yeah. I
And
can I was going to say, I was going to tell you exactly when I was listening to that as an audiobook. I
oh,
was
it's
in
amazing.
a cow shed milking cows at 5 a.m. I remember there was something he said in it, and it was
Talked
around,
about a metaphor of an apocalypse where if you had the whole world to yourself and anything you wanted, he could guarantee you would shrink it all down to one little area. So it's
yeah,
true.
yeah, yeah. I remember it was the first chapter where he was going into that happiness, that you've got to get happy in the environment you're in now, no matter what you've been in. Like, it's not about going out and finding happiness. It's learning how to be happy with what you've got, type thing. I remember that was the
External.
first. And I remember being in a cow shed, and I did love milking cows. Like, I didn't do it for the income, because I was already seeing clients and stuff. I did it because I loved the people that I was with, and it was exercise, and it was 5 a.m. and it was a lot of fun. People might not believe getting shit on by cows is fun, but if you are doing it not because
I used to milk cows. Yeah, it's very, very, very solitude, and I mean, sure, it's a little bit stinky.
we
Yeah, but
would have so much fun. Yeah.
and it's as if you can talk to the cows too. Like I know that sounds a bit woo-wooey, but
Get up,
yeah,
get up.
yeah. You're like, yeah, I'm going. And you call them and off they'd come. And there would be certain particular cows that would give you that little bit of a nudge going, yes, yes. And then there would always be that arsehole cow. Do you remember that one?
Well, there'd always be a
They'd
couple of
kick.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, they'd kick. And you'd be like, oh, don't get into my eye.
I like the dairy farming so much. Like I like the company and the people that I got. I've got this big scar here. So I had I had an injury, and I had to have surgeries about 4 or 5 days in a row, where every day they scooped it out because it was
Yes, it was so deep.
that kind of ate away the skin, and it had to kind of grow back. But I was back in the cow shed, wrapped up and bandages, and I was back in there having fun. I have to say my work ethic is good, but it was actually just the company and the people and the environment.
That's a good point as well. Like a lot of hypnotherapists will go, oh, well, I'm not getting many hypnosis clients, so I need to do something else. Yeah, do something else and do something that you fucking love. So if you want to go do dairy farming, do dairy farming. If you want to flip burgers, flip burgers. I do tea leaf readings because I fucking love it. I love going around to the festivals and talking to people and being into that character and acting out a show, you know. So I've already said to the festival that I'm going to in 3 weeks' time that if you want a comedy stage show, because it's a women's only festival, if you want a comedy stage show, let me know for next year because I will happily jump up on stage and do a show for you, you know, and people can, yeah, and a lot of the gurus can be very judgmental like that. They're like, oh, you're a coach, you're a mentor, you shouldn't need to do that. And I'm like, yeah, well, I don't need to do that, but I do it because I enjoy it.
You do what you need to. You know what?
It's
One
fun.
thing that I find controversial, Trish, and I've learned, and I only learned this last year, because last year I did have a little bit of, I'd not say it's a burnout, but last year,
You and I were talking, we were questioning our existence.
well, no, and it wasn't so much about 18Z, but I've always had the ability to be able to switch off client stuff. Like, great, ADHD mind, hyper focus on one thing, switch the next thing, not even remember what I did that half the day. So for me, listening to staff having client stuff has always not ever been an issue. So I've never carried it in my body, put it that way. So my nervous system hasn't ever responded to sessions. But last
She'll be back in just a moment. You just watch.
Okay, and I'm back. Yeah, so I got to, I think I picked up, I got to like that 7 or 8 year kind of probably what counselors get, where you get to a place where your body starts not being well. And
Yes.
where when I was seeing the heavier clients, the trauma,
You on the other end going, just work. Got a feeling that you might not come back after this one. You are stuck. Oh, dear me. Dear me. Well, Justine's gone. Maybe she's having a toilet stop. Maybe she'll come back in. Oh, there she goes. You just
have you been have you been live on Facebook?
yeah, I'm just talking to myself while you're making a duck face. So yeah, so you got to the 7-8 year
Oh yeah, so
stint.
basically, I wasn't very well last year. So like I had things going on with the health, but I felt that whenever I had clients, I couldn't bounce back. Like I'd physically be quite drained after session. I never used to have that ever. What were we talking about before to get to that conversation?
So how it can you can lose your mojo to get your head back into the game.
Yeah. I
And you
don't
were
know.
talking about feeling the trauma, like dealing with
So I was
heavy
starting.
clients.
Yeah, so I was starting to yeah, that was starting to hit after the so after the that amount of time I was starting to not be able to bounce back so quickly. So I was starting to be a little bit more careful about how many clients I had and how I spaced them apart, just so that I could have some nervous system kind of regulation time. But then it was through that year I realized that people are striving, and a lot of coaches and people are out there saying you make money doing what you love. You've got to find what you love and make money. And then what I realized, what I did in the last 7 years was I fucking loved hypnotherapy and I loved clients and stuff. But because of that, I threw myself into that and nothing else.
You
So I did
need the
hobbies,
other stuff.
have like even in the last 2 years I stopped my walking and I stopped my
You
all
know,
of the stuff
TikToking's
that I
not a
love.
hobby, right?
What's that? Walking?
TikTok is not a hobby, right?
It's a good time out. But yeah,
It's a good time out,
but you know what I
but
mean.
you should play an instrument or something.
And then I realized one day was everyone's going to get with the job that they choose. It is going to feel like a job sometimes, and so you have to have things that you love and
Yep.
things that make you happy outside of work. Because then when I started going, oh, I don't know if I can do that, my body's playing up. I didn't have a happiness thing to do outside of work. So I remember talking to a student recently where they were saying to me, I want to leave my job so I do something that I love. And I said, you are going to love it for a bit, but there's days you're going to wake up and you go, oh, I just don't want to do this. I don't know if I can do this. So it's about, and I said to this person, I think it was a dude, that you've got to have things that make you happy outside of work and enjoy what you do and have that balance, because it's
Yeah.
not always going to be, I love this and I want to go to work every day. You could be probably a race car driver and have done it for years and years and go, I just don't feel like driving on the track today. Do you know what I mean? So this year I've learned a big lesson in not expecting, which is I grew up my whole life with those self-help books. Find what you love and do it and you'll be happy forever. Well, yeah, so it's quite important. And that's where
That's a
gets to the
psycho.
motivation. So what we were talking about at the start is how do you get your motivation back? But
Yeah. I think
it's
also you need
figure out.
something to I think you need something to look forward to as well. So when doesn't matter what you're doing for your paying life, it doesn't matter whether you love it, hate it, or whatever. You need that regular small thing each week that you do. It doesn't matter whether you're playing an instrument, playing a sport, socializing, whatever it is that you do. And you also need to be consistent with it as well.
Yeah,
Because what I remember when I used to play poker, and I used to play poker like 3 or 4 nights a week. And it would, because I was working full time and I was in a job that I really didn't like very much. But just the thought of going to poker on the Thursday night was enough to keep you going to reach that goal every single week. And I'll be like, and it wasn't even about the social aspect, it was about the game. Like I always loved the game of
yeah.
poker.
Geez, you'd be
And
good.
even when you were
Yeah,
exhausted, you still went. And then I took up racquetball and basketball. And again, you would look forward to it. And even if you were exhausted, you still went
yeah,
because you knew that you would get that inspiration back and it would keep you going. So even just the thought of having something that's coming up and really ignite that flame, that fire, that soul. So you got to have something. I don't care if you take up yodeling classes or book club or
yeah,
anything that you want to do. You've got to have something small every single week that you look forward to that's outside the paying universe.
yeah, 100%.
You know?
Yeah,
And if you decide to be a hypnotherapist and you don't have enough clients, but you still love milking cows, go and milk some fucking cows a couple of nights a week, and the money's just a bonus.
I don't think
that's called
now.
balance.
Way too unfit, but
yeah, me too.
And I think I'd struggle with the cow shit now because it was quite a few years ago. So I'd probably
one thing,
right back to the it's in my hair.
One thing I really do love doing is mowing the lawns.
Oh, I've always loved mowing the lawns too.
I could totally just mow people's lawns, I reckon. And I've watched those people that do the cleaning of the driveways with the pressure washer. And I think to myself, you know what? If I had the capacity to do it where I am, I'd probably just start washing the side streets here that the council owns, just one little square. Keep going.
What you do, you make a fortune on TikTok, especially if it was a dark, dirty one and you spray it and it goes white.
Oh, you should see them here.
Have you watched cleaning videos?
Yes, I watch the carpet cleaning videos and the garden edging videos and the cutting of the hedges videos, the satisfying videos. Yes, I watch them.
Yeah.
Yes, so that's honestly how you get your business mojo back, is by having something to look forward to. Like, I've got the Bohemia Festival coming up in 3 weeks. So pumped. I've got H&Z coming up in 8-9 weeks. So pumped.
8 weeks, but 9 weeks, I think. But it's probably 8 weeks. But
like so pumped.
With people, and just
you've got to have something to look forward to keep you resonating, to keep you, it's not about the motivation, it's about the inspiration that creates action that has a byproduct of motivation.
Yeah, 100%.
So is it normal or not to go to the toilet with your partner, or not with your partner, because that's just weird, in front of your partner or children?
I was going to say, it's totally, that's semantics. It's like, is it normal for your partner to walk in and say something to you while you're in the toilet?
Yeah, or in the bath. Yeah.
Or to knock on in the bath, totally. I used to like
John my sometimes bought me an ice cream. He's like, I thought you might like one.
I was going to say, in a non-dodgy way, when I'm in the bath, my partners, because I'd be in the bath for 3 hours. Do you know what I mean? I live in a bath. They just come in and sit down next to me and have conversations all the time.
Yeah, and then all the cats come in. And I'm like, oh, there's a party in the bath.
Yeah. Most people would think partners would be running away going, thank God she's stopping talking. She's in the bath. I don't have to communicate with her, which was probably some of them.
Nope, not in my house. Not in my house at all.
But yeah, I think it's the way it's worded. Is it normal to go to the toilet in front of your partner? I don't know. I think that would be something down a dodgy.
Yeah, not with your partner. We don't need to know that information, whether you'd like two-timing on the one set. We don't need to know that, okay?
Is it normal for your partner to ask you to go to the toilet in front of them? I don't know. That's a different show. That goes back to the R18 show, right?
But, yeah, definitely. The After Dark.
Walk in and have a conversation with you, I'd say from my experience, is pretty normal. Yeah. Probably not a number 2 because it wouldn't be.
No, usually not a number 2, but that's where the door closes and they just stand outside the door and keep talking. You're like, come on, just give me a couple of minutes. Let me concentrate.
Give me another, or if it's a guy, give me another hour because I'm on the phone.
Yeah, I don't know what they do in there. So
I think they just switch off.
All right, lovelies. We will see you in a fortnight. You can catch the replay on our YouTube channel and on our app as well. So scan that QR code and get onto it. So yeah, see you everyone. Bye-bye.